Welcome to Sick Flicks. My name is Mike.
I'm Dalton.
And look at my shit! Look at my shit! My dark tannin oil. Dark tannin oil.
Yeah.
Look at my shit! This is Spring Breakers, dude, and Point Break.
Point Break.
My name's Dalton. And I'm Mike. My name's Dalton. That was sick.
So sick, dude. I'm so pumped about this episode. I love the fact that we are kicking 2026 off with these two films. We are going to be starting with Point Break.
Yes.
And we'll get into that film in a moment. And then we will go into
Seems like we started with Spring Breakers, though.
And then we'll be going into Spring Breakers and our thoughts and feelings on that movie.
We have a lot of them.
Yeah, we do. I do want to say off the hop here that this episode is uncut and uncensored and will be released on our streaming platforms.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, dude. And yeah, it's going to be released on, the Spotify, Apple, all the places.
All your familiar spots for finding us.
If you would like more Sick Flicks content.
Got a little goofy there.
Yeah, dude. If you want more Sick Flicks content, you can have it. You know how, Dalton? Because we've decided that we're also going to record an episode for Radio Western, which is 94.9. Originally, when we started the show, we were dropping an episode that was cut and censored and sort of fit into the hour time slot on Radio Western, and then we would drop the uncut episode.
That was a lot of bullshit.
We're binning that feature.
Yeah.
Okay, that feature is binned, and we've now moved into a space where we are going to be recording a 1 hour episode for Radio Western that is, radio friendly, as they say.
Standalone episode, different movie.
Different movie.
What you'll get on the pod.
That's right, but you can still listen if you don't want to listen on Radio Western.
Yeah,
but
if you don't own a radio.
That's right. Or the internet, because you can listen on the internet.
You can listen
too.
on the internet. No excuse, guys.
No excuse. But you can find those episodes on our streaming platforms as well. So you're going to get an extra film a month from both myself and Dalton, which is pretty cool. And that will be airing. The Radio Western episodes will be airing Monday, the third Monday of every month at 9 p.m. This episode, we will continue to drop on a Thursday, and I think I might as well. We've been doing it.
Yeah.
Might as well. We're deciding on the fly.
Yeah, this is the conversation about it right now.
And we're not sure. We'll get into and we'll talk about it probably next episode because we'll have it figured out by then. But when we're going to be dropping the Radio Western episode, it'll be after that Monday. It might
probably
be on the same.
Probably the Tuesday would be.
Probably the Tuesday would be my guess, and then do the Thursday.
Yeah, so you get a little hit early in the week.
That's right,
and then you get the full meal.
The full meal
later in the week.
Later in the week, and today's episode is definitely
a feast.
It's a full meal. So I can't express to you in words properly how excited I am to talk about these two films.
Or how sick both these movies. There aren't words, guys.
There aren't words. So the very first...
Radical?
Radical?
Might be one.
Yeah, we are so excited to talk about Catherine Bigelow's Point Break.
On the coast of Southern California, you can only surf, party, and make love for so long before it's time to go to work.
Rock and roll.
27 banks in 3 years.
Everybody free!
Anything to catch the perfect wave.
I'm not a crook.
Patrick Swayze.
Fear causes hesitation, and hesitation will cause your worst fears to come true.
Keanu Reeves.
You think I joined the FBI to learn to surf?
Point Break.
Adios, amigo!
Was that a squeaky?
It was a little squeak.
A little squeaky. So yeah, Point Break, Dalton. This movie is very sick, and
It's unbelievable
and
how sick this movie is.
Can you explain to the audience how we consumed this movie?
Yes, I can. I have in my possession the Shout Factory 4K of this movie.
Sick.
Yes. So we did our first little Sick Flicks watch along.
We did.
Last night.
Got a little Wendy's.
And then we recorded or we did Outside the Frame last night, the live show.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, went back to Mike's place, popped in the 4K, had a great time watching this. Yeah, I mean that's how we watched it.
That's
right
how
there.
we watched it. It was actually the first time we watched something together specifically for
this for either radio show.
That's
I think.
right. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun to do that. It was the perfect kind of movie to do that.
Yeah.
For if you don't know, Point Break is a movie that is directed by Catherine Bigelow. It came out in the early 90s, 91 actually.
Mm-hmm.
It stars Patrick Swayze. And it stars Keanu Reeves. And the story of this movie
is amazing.
Is unbelievable. What you have to work with here is you have a brand new FBI agent.
Johnny Utah.
One of the
greatest name in movie history.
One of the great screen names. And his partner is Gary Busey. Mm-hmm. And he is working bank robbery. So he has come in as the new guy. And there's been a string of bank robberies in the L.A. County by this group called the Ex-Presidents.
It's unreal.
Now, there is a working theory from Gary Busey, who's being laughed at by everybody, that the perpetrators of this of all these bank robberies, very successful, by the way, very professional. They come in, they're smashing 90 seconds door to door.
Yeah.
They never go for the vault. You know, they have their thing down. The working theory that Busey has is that they're surfers. Mm-hmm. So Keanu
fueling was it Endless Summer?
An endless summer. So Keanu kind of gets on board with this, no pun intended, and he goes undercover and tries to get in good with a bunch of the local surfers. He falls in love. Mm-hmm. He becomes friends with Patrick Swayze's character, and lo and behold, when he's undercover, he finds out that Patrick Swayze and his merry men are the bank robbers, and hijinks ensues. And
certainly does.
That is, I mean, what an unbelievable premise for a moving picture, if I can say that.
It is. It really is. One could even say it is 100% pure adrenaline. That's what they could say about this movie.
So what you have here is, Keanu at the relatively new to the game at the beginning of his run here in the 90s, which is iconic, starting here in 91. You have Speed. And you have and
ending
of course,
with the Matrix. Yeah,
I mean, he's just
he's the man of the 90s.
Yeah, and I mean, you also have like Interview with the Vampire in there, and you have
Dracula.
Oh, Dracula. Sorry, not Interview. Dracula in there, and you have kind of a new looking action star.
Yeah.
This is now this is one of the first, it maybe not be the first, but it's definitely a big beacon in the change of landscape of big blockbuster action movies where maybe it's not that they're not ripped. Patrick Swayze and him are very...
I will say, I made a comment when we were watching the movie where I said, Keanu's kind of ripped in this movie.
But you know what he's not? He's not Stallone.
He's not Stallone.
And he's not
Schwarzenegger. No.
That's right. He's not Arnie. So it's a different looking action star. And those guys that took over in the sort of late 70s and dominated the 80s, they're going to continue to make films. Obviously, you have T2 in 92. It's not that, and Cliffhanger, which of course will be on this show, absolutely. Arnie's making movies and Stallone's making movies, Van Damme's making movies. All these guys are making movies. However, there is a bit of a different look to some of the big blockbuster action guys, and definitely Keanu is part of that. So, of course, another interesting element of this is that it's directed by a woman, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Catherine Bigelow, of course.
She's so awesome.
She's unbelievable. Synonymous, of course, in this early part of her career and into the 90s with Big Jim, as we like to call him.
Yeah.
Jimmy. So he has a lot to do, or somewhat to do with kind of getting films off the ground. This film, Strange Days, which we did on Outside the Frame, is rewatchable.
And I will say he also has come out recently and said he wrote this movie and didn't get credit for it.
Right.
Don't know. Not going to really comment on that, but
no, I also don't really give a fuck.
I don't care at all.
What I do care about is that Catherine Bigelow is very sick.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of Near Dark. I love Near Dark. It's one of my favorite vampire movies.
We both love Zero Dark 30.
Zero Dark 30 is
one of the best movies.
I mean, it made my top 10 of 25, or the last 25, whatever people were doing.
Unbelievable movie.
It's so good, and she's just a fantastic filmmaker.
She is.
She knows where to put the camera, how to shoot an action sequence.
Especially in this one.
And
I mean, the action in this movie.
She knows what people want to see and what the audience wants to see when it comes to Keanu and Patrick Swayze. And you got shirts off, you got skydiving, you got hurrah moments, which we love on this show.
We love them.
And you have good action, car chases,
good suspense too.
Suspense, bank robberies,
surfing,
a love interest. You have all of these elements, and she takes what could be a really chaotic, insane movie that doesn't really make much sense and makes it make sense inside of this world, because it is absurd that this is happening.
Yeah, the story's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, it's very ridiculous.
But it's like really grounded.
Yeah.
Like you really buy everything that's happening.
Yeah. And there's some, I love the way that, and I said it to you when we were watching it, when, the ending of this movie with Swayze and how he goes, I mean, it's a pretty wild swing to end.
It's so
a 90s
awesome,
action movie, to be like, hey, these guys connected so much that Keanu was going to let him go and go to his death on a surfboard. Like it's really
honestly
awesome.
One of my favorite endings of the 90s. Like, I love it so much.
It's great. It's very sick. Anyways, I wanted to spend a few moments there on Catherine Bigelow, just to say that this show is a huge fan of Catherine Bigelow's work.
We love you, Catherine.
Love Catherine. And huge fan of her movies.
Yes.
And I haven't seen House of Dynamite. You have seen it.
I've seen House of Dynamite.
It's been on my list to watch. I will watch it at some point. There's a lot of films to watch leading up in the last few weeks. Which go over to our episode on Hard Rain, and you can hear about some of our thoughts on, or my
the state
thoughts,
of movies.
The state of.
It's a good chunk of that episode.
It's the first 15-ish minutes.
Yeah.
And we spent a little time talking, ringing in the new year.
Yeah.
Basically, me being depressed about movies. So
so now we're going to be really happy about movies with two of our favorites.
That's right. So Dalton, give me your how did you come across this movie?
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say I can't think of a time where I didn't know Point Break. So I got a little fun tidbit relating to this. So, my mom, massive Patrick Swayze fan. Okay. Right when he died, she went out and bought a bunch of DVDs of his movies that she had never even seen.
Yep.
Don't even think she watched half of them, but we had them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
When I was younger, it was a TV movie. Point Break was often on. We had it on, I believe, VHS.
Of course, it was a classic VHS in a lot of homes in the mid to late 90s.
Yeah. So the funny bit about this that I want to mention, just because since I brought up that my mom is a huge Patrick Swayze fan, I have outright accused her several times of naming me after Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse.
Yeah,
because his name's Dalton. She denies it. And
I sense,
and I said, okay, realistically, in the 90s,
you're a little skeptical.
In the 90s, you're a huge Swayze fan. You have a kid, you name him Dalton. That's not That's not a coincidence.
Right. 2 and 2 is going to equal 4.
So
know?
I know she's lying about that.
Right.
So I just tell people I'm named after Swayze and Roadhouse because like I am, like there's no room there. Like
No.
And the reason I think she lies about it is because my dad is not a Swayze fan, and if she was like, oh yeah, I won and got this name, but it's actually Patrick Swayze, like she doesn't want to like
have that
conversation.
Yeah.
So that's my belief on the situation.
Roadhouse, quite sick.
Roadhouse is quite sick.
Yep.
Point Break's a little sicker.
Yep.
Just wanted to put that out there.
That's really funny.
So I watched it a lot when I was younger.
Got you.
And I loved it then, and I have never stopped. Every time I watch it, so like I do this. It's kind of a bit, but I also kind of mean it every time I watch certain movies. So like, there's Hard Boiled. There's a handful of others. There's a couple Tony Scotts in this mix. When I watch it, I go, that's probably the sickest movie ever made.
Yeah.
It's I finish a certain movie and I'm on a high for like 2 days, Point Break is one of those movies where I'm just like, you got everything right with this, you know?
Yeah.
It's electric, it's a little gay, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, it rules. Everything about it just rules.
Yeah.
It has, I will say, it did not make me want to learn to surf.
No,
I've never had any desire to do it.
It did, like, I loved the mass so much as a kid. Like, I love the idea of, like, the 4 masks,
They're good masks.
Yeah.
They're
and
very
it's
good
just
masks.
such a hilarious and awesome concept
for
the
ex-presidents.
The ex-presidents, great names.
And they keep calling each other, like
Dick,
Jimmy.
Yeah,
Or just straight up LBJ.
It fucking rules, dude.
It does.
It's so awesome. And I love the fact that, like, there's enough surfing that it can be a surfing movie.
Yeah.
Kind of. There's enough
bank robberies.
Bank robbery.
A bank robbery
Every
movie.
time you're like, wow, they haven't robbed all of a sudden, like, Keanu Reeves is robbing a bank with them. You're like, whoa, how did we get here?
There's enough skydiving. It could be a
there's
skydiving.
There's 2 big skydiving scenes in this movie.
They're incredibly made. Like, we were talking about watching, like, how do you do this?
It's crazy.
Like how many takes is this?
And it's very clearly, like, that Swayze and Keanu definitely did some portion of
They were skydiving. Yeah. That's not, you don't fake that.
No, some of the surfing stuff.
Yeah, we caught a couple things where we're like,
but they also used a lot of
look really good though.
They definitely used some rear projection stuff.
Yeah, some day for night.
I would think there was probably maybe some early green screen stuff or rotoscope stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell. I feel like most of it was rear projection, or a lot of it was.
Yeah, definitely them sitting on the surfboards at night.
It's in a pool.
It's definitely in a pool, and it's rear projection.
Yeah.
But like I will say, I had never noticed that.
Right, and
until we watched it this time. I don't know if it was because it was the 4K,
right,
or if it was just like we're kind of like looking at
for stuff
like that. Yeah.
But you're gonna have that, like, when you want, like, an important dialogue scene where
you got to control the elements.
You have to control the elements. Obviously, most of that stuff, if not all of it, is ADR. But just in terms of shooting, all of that, you don't want to be sitting on a board out in the middle of the ocean, right? And so there's definitely, like, again, this speaks to Bigelow's, like, filmmaking ability to mix all that stuff together and to not lose the audience in all of that is a huge skill to have, to know how to do that, especially in the 89, 90 when they were shooting this, and man, this movie is so sick. For me, it was just one of those staple video store rentals. Definitely rented this movie a lot. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I came to this movie after Speed. So Speed was a huge deal when it came out. And I don't think I'm like most people that know about or were alive when Speed came out know this.
Yeah.
And then Keanu was just a part of the action. I was both my brother and my sister and myself were big action movie people. So we were into the Stallones and the Van Dammes and the Arnies, and we would watch, and Seagulls, you know what I mean? And so
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And so Keanu just became part of that, hey, let's check out Chain Reaction. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. Let's check out Speed. Let's check. Oh, he's in the surfing movies with Patrick Swayze. Let's check that out. And it would just became in the rotation of just movies that. And I don't remember ever this movie was always just tip top for me.
Yeah,
never was well, I kind of think this movie's cool.
No, it's
and then you watch it later or whatever.
It's the coolest thing right off the bat.
It's like the coolest thing ever, and immediately. Yeah. So, excuse me, I just hiccuped randomly. So, can we? I know we can't go. We're not going to, because that's not our kind of podcast. We're not going to go through every scene. We're not going to go through every beat of the movie.
No.
However,
it's hard to do sickest scene for this movie because it's every fucking scene in this movie. This movie's so awesome.
I mean, the introduction to Keanu and Busey's character, from the pool, which is obviously water-based, which is funny.
Yeah.
But also when he gets into the office for the first time.
I like when they're out in the out on the drop car.
Yes. It's great. But then you get the young, dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah. I was taking shrapnel and Caisson when you were shitting in your hand and wipe it on your face.
Busey just
so good.
Just on
the sergeant in this movie. I can't remember the actor's name.
He's fantastic.
He's so every time he's at a 10 every time.
Yeah, it's awesome. The angered sergeant boss.
Did him walking in to the FBI office in his tank top and with his surfboard.
With the surfboard, it's so fun. And it's this bright pink surfboard.
So, yeah.
And he's just got this dumb look on his face, and you could just tell he's so mad. The sergeant's so mad. I love the introduction for sure. The bank robbery scenes, I mean, all of them are great.
Really, I think if we're gonna go to a highlight, maybe let's do this, okay? Top 3 sickest scenes in this movie, because we can't do one, right? And I'll hit you with one right off the bat.
Okay.
It's a long sequence. It's when it's from the ex-president's robbing the bank, and Busey and Keanu are on the stakeout.
Yeah, eating the dogs.
Eating the meatball sandwich.
Sandwiches. Yeah.
The chase through these back alleys, the fucking Swayze gas pump fucking
the flamethrower. Yes.
The close-ups, you just see his eyes through the mask and the fire. I'm like, dude, you are and then they're running a little bit later and then you see they don't even focus on it. The explosion in the background, you have so many elements going on, that's so hard to do.
It's very sick.
People who have never had to plan out a movie or anything that's so hard to do. So much of that.
That's a really great one. Can we put together both parachuting scenes?
That was going to be my second one.
Right. I think that's what we do.
Yeah.
Because both of them are very
jump or jerk off.
Because the first one is kind of cool and fun,
Yeah, and they're having a good, and then the second one.
And the second one, you have
serious.
You have this tension, right?
And dude, grabbing the revolver and jumping out without a parachute. I'm like, this is just.
It's great. It's so great. Well, I mean, because the first one you do have a little bit of tension there because you think that they're gonna kill him.
Yeah,
but. Because they've kind of
playing,
found out
they're playing the parachute thing.
But then they all
you don't want this one.
Yeah, but then they all come together and they're as we said when we were watching, it's they're in the moment. They almost forget what is.
They're get in here, Johnny.
Yeah,
live in this moment.
Yeah, and they're kind of you see that they do actually hanging out.
Yeah,
and then the second one obviously is in a different context where
very much higher stakes.
Right. So. So we got that whole sequence. We got the 2 parachute scenes.
Can I say before moving on from the parachute scenes?
Yes.
I said something to you when we were watching this, and I feel like I would be remiss to not mention
Sure.
it. I love in a movie when the villain genuinely likes the hero.
Absolutely.
And they want the hero to get it. They want them to understand them. They want them to be on their level. And Swayze is he's amazing in this movie. I don't think a lot of action movies, performances are overlooked. His performance is flawless in this movie. And that element is his relationship to Johnny Utah. And that scene, the parachuting scene, both parachuting scenes, I think are the culmination of that relationship.
Yep.
And it's so exciting to watch because is he going to, like, I mean, there's like that weird, like, almost like Star Wars, like, is he going to join him? Like,
right.
He won't,
right. Yeah.
Obviously, like,
and they do kind of get that in there when he's like part of the like when he's made to make.
Yeah,
to
they do
the
it
bank
earlier,
robbery.
but then it's like it's the full commitment
it's
of
really that's right.
Of Swayze is like, I know he can't, he won't.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep trying because he genuinely wants him to.
Yep.
Like, it's not like, because Swayze doesn't really think of himself as a bad guy.
Nope.
Right? He's like, no, like, I'm doing this so I can be like, when he's surfing, he's like in this spiritual mindset, right?
It's also the bank robbery stuff is not only to what you're saying is to fund that experience, but also it's very punk rock in the sort of,
they're just like, this is something crazy, like it's an adrenaline rush.
It's adrenaline rush, but for Swayze it's anti-system, right? It's anti-establishment. It's anarchy.
Yeah.
That's how he's justifying it, at least.
We also kind of glossed over this, but he also has a great name, Bodie. Yeah, it's a great surfer name.
Great. I mean, I could go so many different directions. I don't know. After the parachute scenes, you could give me the ending. Sure. The ending's very sick.
I love the ending.
Could you also fuck with a little football?
The football is very good.
I love the football scene so much.
I'm gonna throw in the Red Hot Chili Peppers house raid.
Right, the house raid is really
with the lawnmower.
With the lawnmower. Yeah,
and like the naked chick in the shower just beating the shit out of Johnny Utah. And then like they have the moment right after where like he looks up in the mirror, the broken mirror, and he's like reflecting on his life.
Yeah,
I'm like, you guys are like,
and
throwing out all the stuff.
It's funny too because he's late for his own raid because him and Tyler,
which
is a girl's name.
Tyler's the woman.
Yeah.
Bodie is the man, and Tyler is the woman.
They were banging on the beach, and he ended up being
late.
He's late for his own raid, but ends up, he
gets there.
He gets there in time.
With that scene and the chase, I will say one of the best gunshots in movies is in this movie. Every gunshot, you're like, man, it's like this heat. Like you get a lot of Heat vibes from this movie.
Pre-Heat too.
I know, and it's like all the street stuff.
Yeah, it's very LA too.
It's very LA, but it's like the wherewithal to not make them like stock gunshots. Like when he does the like. The hot
those
gunshots. Yeah, those gunshots are so good.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, I mean, all of those. That's the thing is, we could go scene by scene and pretty much say like every scene is sick.
Yeah, we did that with Ricochet. We won't do it for.
I mean, that was a different kind of podcast.
Yeah, that one was like, you guys aren't gonna believe this.
With this film, though. I think those are the big hitters. I think in terms of 6 scenes,
those are the top 3. I think.
What kind of lines stand out?
Stand
out to you?
Let's go. I didn't write them down.
No. Neither of us wrote anything down.
We have notes sometimes. This episode we're like
no
we're
notes. No notes for this or Spring Breakers.
We have seen both these movies so many times.
Right.
A line I say quite frequently is Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Right.
It's such a good, just like, let's go. I love you gotta jump or jerk off.
Yeah.
That one's good.
Yeah.
I
like
Only Live to Get Radical.
Right. It's good.
Lawyers don't surf, or surfers are territorial.
Yeah.
That one's good.
I like the Young, Dumb, and Full of Cum.
Young, Dumb, and Full of Cum is classic.
A few of the Busey lines are great. You know what? You should have got me 4 of these. Where he gets the meatball stuff.
He loves those, dude.
Yeah.
Or he like stops the scene and, hey, give me 2.
Give me 2.
He already said it like 5 times, but you got to take a beat.
And then he wants 2 more.
He wants 2 more immediately after one bite.
Those
Swayze's got a lot that I actually like. it's mostly like things that are radical, but he's
Yeah.
like, "You're one radical son of a bitch," you know.
Yeah.
He has this great line, and I might not get it exact here, but
Sure.
when they're going on the raid, and Keanu, Johnny Utah, goes, "It's over, Bodhi. I am an FBI agent."
Yeah.
And then Bodhi goes like, "I know, it's crazy, isn't it?" Or like, it's like I know, it's wild. And then he's like, he's so good in this movie.
Yeah, he's really great. I just think like Bigelow really just nailed their personas. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just to have Keanu in a stoner kind of role, but still have, there's still substance there. He has
to be a guy who like pretends to be that guy,
but he's really good at pretending.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's great, and I just think this movie, it's just one of those all-timers that will never not be sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, I think we said it a few times, like, why aren't movies like this?
Yeah, I said,
it's we sound like curmudgeon-y old grandpas or whatever, but like,
why?
And we're not that old. By
when
the
this
way,
movie came out,
but,
why wasn't everyone doing this? Right. I'm not saying it's easy, but why weren't they trying?
Right.
This should have been the gold standard when this came out.
And it just feels like, it just feels like one of those things that vibe-wise, from a star standpoint, premise, execution, it's just not something that's possible. Yeah. And I don't say that like,
I know what you mean.
It's only good movies were made back then. Yeah. No, but this vibe of movie, like I said, we just don't have.
If I walked into a studio right now and I pitched Point Break, it's not getting made.
Absolutely not. Unless you said like...
Not with the budget.
No, unless you like... Yeah, there's a few things you could say to get it over the line maybe, but definitely not the way this movie is.
We also don't have stars like this anymore.
Well, and that's what I was saying. Like, to get Swayze at this point in his career on where it's like, peaking, we're like, I think right around Ghost time, right?
Yeah, I think it's...
And post Dirty Dancing.
Is Ghost 90?
I think it's 90. Post Dirty Dancing, right? And he's just
post Roadhouse.
I mean, he's the bona fide star, and then you have this up and coming kid that is, has been in some stuff, has been around, and is just gonna explode after this movie in terms of his stardom. So, it's just one of those. It has all the ingredients, and it's mixed together, and what you get is the equivalent of the perfectly made chocolate chip cookie. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Like, that's really what it is. And I really can't say more about, like we could sit here for 2 hours and just keep saying how sick this movie is, unless you go and see it and experience it for yourself, which I highly recommend. Very easy to get, by the way, whether
it's
on
everywhere.
VHS, DVD, there's the 4K out. It's
I'm sure it's streaming.
It's out there. If you haven't seen this movie, go and seek it out, because it is extremely sick. You will not have a bad time. Yeah. I guarantee it. It's so much fun.
You have to want to live radical.
You got to live radical.
Like you need the spirit.
So what's our judgment here? I mean, it's obviously on the show. How sick is this movie?
Like I said, every time I watch it, I'm like, this is probably one of the sickest movies ever made. Like, I'm not even joking with you. While we've been talking about it, I'm like, I want to watch it again.
I want to watch it again.
I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Like, I just think about certain scenes, and I'm like, it's also like a perfect 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like it should not be any shorter or any longer than it is.
No.
It's everything about it is kind of perfect.
Well, that is a perfect way to end our discussion on Point Break. You know what else happens along the beach, and has bathing suits and people going. I mean, there's some robbery in it, So, of course, we're talking about the absolute 5-star cinematic masterpiece without irony.
Yep,
Spring Breakers.
This is more than just spring break.
We're getting out of here.
searching to see something different.
Hi, Grandma. Having so much fun here. So nice to get a break from reality for a little while. I'm starting to think this is the most spiritual place I've ever been. Everyone was so warm and friendly. Feels as if the world is perfect.
Spring break, y'all!
Like it's never gonna end.
That's the dream, y'all. That's the American dream.
Who are you?
My name's Alien. Gangsta. You girls is different from the rest. I knew y'all was special from the moment I saw you. It's in your eyes. It's written on your faces.
Pretend like it's a video game.
Wanna have some fun?
Oh my God!
Let's cause some trouble. Live life to the fullest.
This isn't the end. The end of the dream. Don't worry.
Dalton, this movie is like, I was trying to think on the drive here how to put into in some kind of succinct words like what this movie means from like a thematic standpoint, from like, you know, what the filmmaker was trying to get to, all that stuff, but then also what the movie means to me personally.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to unpack, I think, and it's one of those films that is such a divisive movie. It was the way that it was marketed. I don't know if you remember this movie. So this movie came out in 2012. So you were a person, right? You weren't you weren't like 5 or something like crazy like that.
I had object permanence at this point.
Yeah, for sure. So this movie was marketed kind of like Disney Girls Go Wild.
Gone Wild, yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And it had like American Pie vibes, and it was going to be this raunchy kind of like party movie.
Yeah.
That's how it was marketed, which then made a lot of the people that the movie is commenting about and making fun about very angry, because that's not what the movie is at all.
No.
There's elements of those things in the movie, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that's not really what the movie was. I think a big part of this, I know a big part of this film is the filmmaker himself, which is this guy named Harmony Korine.
That little rapscallion.
It's a rapscallion. Harmony Korine is not your garden variety filmmaker, okay?
He is not.
If you don't know who Harmony Korine is, you can do a quick Google, a quick IMDb. If you don't know who he is, you probably have never heard of any of his other movies other than Spring Breakers. He came sort of to prominence as a young writer when he was 18 years old. He wrote a script called Kids. Which was released in 1995. An incredibly difficult movie to get through, and pointing to the AIDS crisis in the 90s.
And like for his movie, like it was very well received.
Very well, like critically,
yeah.
And it's not an easy movie to get through.
No.
And he wrote it when he was very young, directed by Larry Clark, which we won't get into the Larry Clark side of things. But that's a whole interesting side quest.
That's a different episode.
That's a different episode. It's an interesting side quest, and so he writes that movie. He starts making his own movie also, which is called Gummo. Another not traditional narrative drama type film. It's very much a mood piece is what I would call it. However, it's extremely, in my opinion, rewatchable.
It's also really funny.
It's very funny.
It's also really fucked up.
But it's very fucked up and dark. And he kind of moves into this almost dogma space with films like Trash Humpers and Julian Donkey Boy. And he kind of carves out this niche audience for himself that they're kind of cinephile-esque type people, but definitely people that are into the other side of art and in the Gaspar Noé kind of way, and in like the darker side of humanity and cinema, and what that these are the kind of rocks you're going to be uncovering when you turn on a Harmony Korine movie. Yeah. And he made a few others in there. This movie, however, was his loudest movie, his noisiest movie, has the most amount of stars in this movie. This movie not only stars James Franco, but at the time, a very noisy movie because of Selena Gomez, Vanessa Hudgens, and Hudgens, sorry, and I'm blanking on Ashley Benson.
Yeah.
So those names should be pretty. I mean, two of them are Disney. I think Ashley was on Disney as well, but Ashley definitely was in pop culture because of Pretty Little Liars. She was on that show. But Selena and Vanessa, obviously huge stars as well. And then you also have Rachel Korine, not his daughter, actually. It's the girl he ended up marrying. Is the fourth girl in this little pack that heads off to spring break. So, and like I said, James Franco as well. So you have, and Gucci Mane, of course, you can't forget him, right? Mm-hmm. So you have this like really big, noisy movie that has it's one of the early A24 pushed films.
It's the second movie A24 ever released.
And so you have this brand new studio. One of the reasons why even though I think it's gotten a little off the rails, I'll always be dedicated to A24. They put out Harmony Korine films, Gaspar Noé films, films like mid-90s. Like they were cooking between 2012 and 2017, 2018. Really cut their teeth on movies like this. And so it's this big, loud, noisy movie about spring break, right? Yeah. But it's not it's the most narrative of any Harmony Korine movies, traditionally narrative movies.
Up until this point.
Up until this point. Yeah. However, it's still not for public consumption, I would say, is a way to put it. It's not for a normal movie goer. It's really not.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people, because like, if you ask people about Harmony Korine movies, guarantee you they haven't seen any. If they have, it's this one.
Yeah.
So I know a lot.
And most people hate it, by the way.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people who have seen it, and I'll talk to them, and I'll be like, oh, I love them. And they're like, that's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And I'm like, oh, it's like a certified masterpiece. Like, I could write you a book on this movie.
Yep.
And I had met, there's a friend I made in college, and I lived with him for a little bit. His name's Charlie. And he was like, in college, I didn't have I was around a bunch of people who made films and everything. He was a musician, right? So I would often do the buy and sell DVDs,
sure.
Bring them to the store or whatever. And I needed to clear some space the one day, and I was looking, and Spring Breakers was always one of those ones where I'm like, it's a maybe, donate, whatever. And I could never do it because I just loved it too much. And then like he saw me doing it the one day, and he's just like, I'll say I would always have a pile of Spring Breakers to be on top because I knew I was going to take it off. And he saw it, and he was just like, he goes, dude, I love that movie. And I was like I finally found a person who understands. And we talked about it for like an hour, and I was like, I will never sell this movie. Like I need it in my collection.
Yep.
I watch it quite frequently, and then when you're in film school, people were not keen on that movie. Like they weren't, like Harmony Korine was not big in like around the time I went to school, like it wasn't, like I think the Beach Bum might not, what year was that?
Beach Bum was 2015.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So like that was right when I went to school, and like
15. Yep.
Harmony Korine was not the figure he once was.
Sure.
But I was still really into him, and or at least into this film. I had seen Gummo.
2019.
It was 2019?
Yeah. That's what the internet is
he
saying.
He wasn't that feels too late. It's fine.
It's what the internet says, dude.
All right.
I know. I thought it was 2015, 2016 too, but
so yeah, he really wasn't around. Like this would have been his last film that it would have come out. And I was like, yeah, I loved it. I was defending it constantly from people who would shit on it, and I have thought many times about writing a paper on it, but in taking weird angles on it that like I know people have, like I really wanted to write about the film's view on race. I wanted to do a big long essay about that. I've had a conversation. I think you were one as well. Who I thought, and you're like, I've never viewed it from that angle, but it makes perfect sense. And there's so many different perspectives you can watch this movie with, and like things you can take away from it. Like you could take the religious angle, right? Yep. That's a major aspect of this movie. You could take corruption of the youth. You could take excess. You could like so many different. I mean, hip hop culture.
Yep.
Gang violence. Like it covers for a movie that like on its surface,
loss of innocence in some way. Yeah.
On its surface, it is it's girls falling into a life of crime on spring break, right?
Yep.
And you can take it for that, but you might not really enjoy it.
Yep.
Because there is a lot more at play here, and he's described it as as a Britney Spears music video, which I'm like, that makes sense for what he's doing. He's like, it's a music video is what I'm doing. So that's why to some people it's like it's stylistically strange. He's not interested in the structure or in like, despite it being a traditional narrative story, like it's there.
Yeah.
He's not interested in telling it in a traditional narrative way.
One of the big elements of that is this back and forth that he does with the editing. So the editor actually worked with Gaspar on a bunch of his films. He's
cinematographer too.
Is it the editor or cinematographer?
Cinematographer did Gaspar Noé's movies.
Maybe I'm thinking of the cinematographer then. I'll have to look at the editor in a second. But this idea of using this editing technique where he is jumping forward and then meeting you back where you are in the story, going back
like a chorus,
jumping forward, and it's just like always kind of like the whole movie kind of moves like I'm doing a back and forth. Like it's going forward, but always going up and back, up and back, up and back, but it's always progressing as well. It's a really, in my opinion, a really effective way of telling the story. It's also very innovative and progressive. And you see one of the things which I'll get to in a second, because I want to hear kind of your finishing thoughts here on this, but is. Yeah, the idea of this film being so influential to cinema because you don't feel it necessarily with the audience, but the filmmakers take from this movie. Filmmakers take from this movie to this day. There are movies that have come out in the last couple of years where it's almost like not shot for shot, but pretty damn close to sequences and themes of this movie, and where I've seen, I'm like, the look of the film, the way that it's edited, it feels like a movie that was shot in 2018 or 2019, but is like he's 10 years ahead. He is.
He always is.
He always is.
I will say one of the conversations I heard him talk about in terms of the way the movie or story moves like that is he described it like a pop song. And he said there's a lot of repetition in the movie. Like people repeat their lines, scenes repeat, things like that. He said he wants it to feel like a chorus that you come back to, and it's like a hook in your head, like a pop song.
So smart.
And
I love it.
Yeah, and it's something that like you might not like when you're watching it. You might just be like, oh wow, there's a lot of repetition. There's a lot of things. But when you look at it from that perspective, it is like he has his pulse. Sorry, his pulse. His thumb on the pulse of pop culture more than like anyone could possibly be, you know, like it's and he's almost like he's ahead of the audience he always has been. And in this movie, he's trying to make one for the audience. Like, Gummo is not for an audience. Julian Donkey Boy is not for an audience.
But also pointing out flaws
Absolutely.
and things about that audience,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, 100%. He's just, I don't know. He has this way of constantly innovating in terms of either the filmmaking techniques or the structure or the narrative or his social commentary that you kind of take for, like, when a Harmony Korine movie comes out, it's the same reaction every time. That movie sucked. That movie doesn't make any sense. Who wants to watch that? And then there's a select few people, and I know filmmakers in Hollywood pay attention to him, right? Mm-hmm. They might not admit it. They might not, give him any credit. But like, even something as simple as, okay, we'll go a little crazy with it. Mm-hmm. When he did Aggro Drift, okay, that's a movie. And for those of you who don't know, it is basically a hour and a half music video,
75 minutes.
Okay,
so it's
sure.
about an hour 15 minutes, but it's a cutscene from a video game.
Yeah,
that's what it is,
and it's shot entirely in infrared. Mm-hmm. It hurts your eyes to watch.
Yep.
It's a weird narrative, non-structural, experimental. Like, it's hard to even call it a movie. It's like an experience.
Uses AI, animation.
Not does he use AI in Aggro? I know he does in Baby Invasion.
Pretty sure he used AI.
Maybe a little bit
in Aggro. Yeah, for the background stuff. There are all the things that happen in the background. I believe there. It's a combination. Don't quote me, but it's a combination of animation, CGI. And AI into so.
Or actually, no. I remember the masks. The masks on the people were AI.
There's a lot of moving parts inside of Aggro Drift. It's one of the most interesting parts of that movie.
Yeah.
Is that there's so much going on in the frame because there's like stuff happening in the background, stuff happening in the foreground, like all this stuff. Yeah.
That to say,
it's a good example
with that film.
Yes.
In the next couple years after this, so that was. Two years ago?
3 years.
3 years ago?
2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that time,
so almost 3 years ago.
In that time, Dune Part 2 has an entire infrared sequence.
Yep.
Okay. 28 years later, has a bunch of infrared shots. I guarantee you that doesn't happen without Aggro. I'm not saying those filmmakers sat down and watched it. They're aware. The technology changed. It hadn't been done until it had, and Harmony Korine was the one who did it.
And they put it into, and this happens a lot with Harmony stuff, is that those filmmakers are, as you said, either aware, fans, or have watched, or all three, of Harmony's movies, and they're able to pick out one or two elements of something he's hit on.
That they're like, this is genius, actually.
And then put it into a film like Dune Part 2, which makes like $1 billion worldwide, and lots of people see it, and it's inside of a structured film, right? And this
they use it differently, obviously.
Of course.
But like, it's...
But that's the thing with the AI integrated stuff and the way that he's using technology and film and visuals.
He's constantly experimenting.
I'm not saying it's the only movie or the first ever movie to do this, but definitely the first ever movie to do it in this way. But in Baby Invasion, the entire movie has a live scrolling chat.
It's the best part of the movie.
It's amazing. Now, do I think that in the next couple of years we will see sequences and films that utilize that idea? 100% they will.
Yeah.
100% they will.
Or there will be films that you watch like through streaming, through Netflix, where if it's like a new film premieres on, we'll use Netflix as an example. Live chat over the movie, and you can see everyone's reaction to it.
Yeah.
That's very possible.
Absolutely it
and
is.
I think that's the future Harmony Korine sees for movies.
Yeah.
Or the fact, I think it's Netflix and a few other studios, maybe Disney, have talked about integrating AI to have the audience have an impact on the stories they're watching, or to write their own stories. Mm-hmm. And again, I think this is Harmony Korine seeing that before any of that's announced. He's really, and like if you see interviews, he seems like a strange fellow.
He's definitely a strange fellow.
And I think he comes off in a way where no one takes him seriously.
Yep. Except for me and you and a few others.
Yeah, but I mean, like, in terms of the zeitgeist, like...
Correct.
The Letterman things are a perfect example, right?
Yep.
Like...
Letterman's just making fun of him.
He's making fun of him.
And it really angers me,
It's sad.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's such a view, and like, Corinne knows it, too.
Yeah.
And he's smart enough to, like, play on it a little bit, but also, like, you can see, like, it's bothering him.
Yep.
That's just my sort of rant on Corinne being way ahead of the curve.
Yep.
With this film, we have talked already a little bit about how it's influenced movies. Okay, I got another little equivalency here.
Yep.
He to me is the Kanye West of filmmaking. Okay.
Yeah.
Kanye will release an album. Okay. Not anymore.
Yeah.
This is like in his prime. Kanye will
Yeah.
release an album like Life of Pablo or something, right? Comes out, everyone's like, this is terrible. You know, like, I don't like this. You know, and then like that's the zeitgeist, but like fans of his are like, no, this is great, this is new, it's genius, whatever. It dictates pop music for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're like, he's crazy, he's whatever, you know. Yeah. But it's to me, I view them very similarly. You know? It's
for sure. It's
they're innovators.
They are, and you need a type of person like a Gaspar and like a Harmony that sits in the underbelly of art and kind of pushes things around and see where things could go. I know for me personally, when this movie came out, I had never seen something like my brain kind of broke.
Yeah. I had a similar experience.
For me, seeing Spring Breakers, there's a very distinct line pre-Spring Breakers and post-Spring Breakers.
Yeah.
I then spent the next 9 years trying to make my Spring Breakers.
Yeah.
And I don't think I so far haven't quite achieved that.
No.
However, I'm still trying.
Yeah.
Right?
Not very many people can, though.
No,
and
that's the thing is that, but it sent my brain into a space of like, what else is possible, and what else, like, how can I be more creative inside of this? Because I just felt very, whether or not it was like how I kind of learned to make films and what that environment was. Obviously growing up in a certain way, all of these things factor into your thought process and how you make and approach art. And this film was like someone handing me a key and just opening the gate and saying, "Oh, there's this whole other side of things."
Yeah,
right?
You could do this,
and you can do this in any way you feel. Right? And it doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be, I love the quote that he says, like Harmony says, "I wanted this movie to look like someone shot it through a bag of Skittles."
Yeah, exactly.
I still think people are trying to do that now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling, and I mean, we haven't even touched on the musical element of this movie.
I know.
It hits on dubstep, which is, of course, dated. At the same time,
it was perfect for 2012.
And to hit on the social commentary of that audience who's doing that stuff at that particular time.
Can I ask you, did Skrillex write Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites for this movie?
No.
No?
That actually came out a couple years before this movie.
Okay.
What I remember... Now, this is... Okay. The reason why I even know that is because I know I was so I graduated film school in 2010, and I remember myself and the guy that I produced a lot of stuff with and who shot a lot of things for me. His name was Nick. Shout out to Nick.
Shout out Nick.
He and I listened to Skrillex in the car in, I would say, spring of 2010.
Yeah. But that song specifically?
Yeah, it's on like an album with a bunch of his other hits of that particular era of Skrillex. Now, if you don't know Skrillex, do you know who that dude is or why he...
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was...
I went to high school with somebody who was the biggest Skrillex fan on planet Earth. He had his head shaved like him.
Sure.
Wore his beats around his
So
neck.
Those of you who don't know, he actually played in a metal band for quite some time. And the reason why I gravitated towards some of Skrillex's stuff in that early movement of dubstep is because it followed a very similar structure to a certain kind of metal in which the quote-unquote breakdown is the sick part of the song.
Yes.
So a metal breakdown is not so dissimilar to a dubstep breakdown, except they're just using different instruments to get there. So to me, when I heard Skrillex for the first time, this was just an electronic version of metal to me, or a kind of metal. And I love the fact that he was putting in like essentially memes or other things into
exactly
the song,
what he's doing.
And
sampling random YouTube videos and
so
stuff.
for like a 25-year-old at the time, I was just like, oh, someone like has pushed music into a space
But see,
where
like
I'd
that's
never heard
that's
of.
where Harmony Korine and Skrillex belong together.
Correct. And to use this, obviously the movie comes out in 2012, but obviously it's they're probably shooting in 2010, 2011. So it is, and it's not like dubstep was gone in 2012. Like it was still very, I mean,
it was around for, I mean, it's still
around it, but it's more in like an EDM type space now.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of integrated into like trap and EDM and stuff like
and
that.
even some hip hop. Yeah,
some hip again, but what's interesting is they use that style, if dubstep's the style, usually to emphasize or to in the structure to you as a quote unquote breakdown, right?
Yeah, of course,
because it's quote unquote sick.
Yeah,
right. So, anyways, what I was going to say is I'll never forget actually driving into LA for the very first time in a car. And I just rocked Skrillex so hard, dude, like on the highway, and I was like, life is now different. You know what I mean? And that was spring of 2012, and I was just like still rocking Skrillex.
You were spring breaking, dude.
I was spring breaking. Also, just a quick shout out to Skrillex and Korn, who did a really cool. I'm serious.
I know. I did not expect.
It's awesome. If you listen to the song "Get Up" by Skrillex and Korn as your alarm, you will get the fuck up. I guarantee you. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. So the music side of things is really interesting. I mean, you mentioned the Britney Spears side. Obviously, there is, and one of the things that's very sick about this movie, and I wanted to say this, that the Britney Spears montage in this movie not only is very sick, to me it's. There are most days where I could point to this as my favorite
movie scene ever.
4 minutes, 3.5 minutes in all of cinema.
Yeah.
It is everything that I personally want to see in film. It's violent. It's socially. It's a social commentary. It's using pop music. I love the way it's shot.
It's also like
it's cool,
oddly. Hyper aware of what it is.
It's hyper aware of what it is.
Yeah, it's a really smart,
unbelievable
scene.
I think also. That's something. And the
song's a banger.
The song is a banger. But bringing it around to sort of what kicked this portion of the discussion off, that for me, again, seeing that kind of broke my brain. And again, like I cannot describe to you like many, many hundreds and thousands of hours spent on scripts, shooting, editing, distribution, putting out movies. This is like ground zero for all of that for me post that. So right before this, I had made my first feature in 2010, and I had just been to Los Angeles and produced a film in Los Angeles, in actual Hollywood, right? Came back very, very depressed. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was in this lull where I just wasn't watching movies. And I remember, I'll never forget the first time I watched this movie. It was at my buddy Jay's place, and he had this editing bay set up, and he was slowly starting getting me on board to, hey, why don't you come and edit this? I'm working on this. So we were like cutting a few things together, and he was working on a feature, and I was helping him cut that together. We sat down and we watched the new Harmony Korine movie, and that's where it broke my brain. I was like, this is the great, and we both were like, this is the greatest movie that's ever been made. Like, so I didn't see this in theater. I actually saw this after it sort of came out. I would say early 2013-ish time, and I'll never forget my first time watching it. I've watched it many, many, many times, and it's interesting if you listen to the Hard Rain episode, as I've pointed out. I personally have been going through a little bit of a struggle with films, and to have this on the docket on this show to rewatch, it never fails to reinvigorate my creative brain, my motivation.
It just gets you excited
and
about
passion
movies. Yeah.
about movies, and not only just movies in general, watching movies, but also making films and being excited about like what's next and what could be next, right? And that's just something that, like, dude, not many movies get me there like this movie does. And it is like one of maybe 3 movies that if I could, what's that film where the guy steals all the Beatles songs but no one knows that he stole them?
Yeah.
If I was in that situation but with movies, this would be one of the movies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would just recreate this like shot for shot with all the same. Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
And there's maybe one or two other films like that for me that has had such an impact, not only on me personally, creatively, but just like it's just one of those movies that absolutely rips and slaps every fucking time. I was so happy because Dalton and I did a private screening of this on the big screen last year, and then we had the ultimate experience of going and seeing this movie on IMAX.
Yeah,
like
in
IMAX.
We drove to Toronto to see it on the biggest screen.
They did this weird like it was
A24 re-release.
It was for Selena's new album, right? That was
that was the tie-in.
But it was just like we just went, and there was maybe like 30 people there, but I they
were like, stick around for something after, and we're like, it's gonna be Baby Invasion. We're gonna see Baby Invasion.
It was the
now.
Selena,
and then it was a Selena Gomez, Benny Bianco song.
Yeah,
I was like,
okay.
Right.
But to see the opening of this movie is a montage to the Skrillex song.
Yeah,
and to see that on that big of a screen,
people walking out, it was awesome.
People walking
the topless beer bong scenes set to Skrillex. I'm just like, leave now. It's not. It's not getting any better from here. Like,
it's unbelievable. It's so good to hear it through those speakers and just.
I told you, I went. Dude. So at one point during the movie, I got up to go to the washroom, and I went down the hall, into the bathroom.
Yeah.
And all I could hear in the back was Skrillex blasting from the theater.
It's so sick, dude. Yeah. It's so sick. So we've talked about some of the editing. Oh, I did want to mention, just to call it back, it was the cinematographer that worked with Gaspar. Yes. It was the editor. He edited Birdman, which is kind of interesting. A few other things of note, but like that was. I
just love that. Like obviously Birdman has a lot of like really impressive editing. But it's just funny because it seems like there's no editing in the
movie. So we've talked about some of the filmmaking aspects of things, the music, the impact it had on me. Do you remember the first time you saw this? Did I ask you that? We've been talking about this for a while. But what do you remember the first time you watched this?
Yeah, I had an interest in seeing it as like, it's one of those things where like there's certain movies where like I'm kind of doing a bit where I want to see it, but I also like want to see it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I bet you I will love this, like no one else will, but I will. So when this came out, I was pretty young, but like I was like, who wants to go see this in the theater? Because I think it was my first year of high school.
Okay. Yeah.
I think was around that time, and I'm so bad with years, dude. Like, and I was like, could not get any of my friends to go see it. Whatever. Mm-hmm. So then it came and went. And then it was, I think it was 2 years later maybe, there was still a video store
Sick.
by my house. It closed shortly after this. But I would go in there, I would ride my bike over to the video store. I've said that on the show before. And I picked it up there just as a like, it was middle of summer.
It's awesome.
And I was like, I just need like some movies to throw on late night. I got Spring Breakers and a couple other things. And I was like, I love this. This movie was way better than I thought it would be. And it kind of like, I didn't own it or whatever, so like it was not around very much.
Right.
People weren't
Right.
talking about it.
Yeah.
And then I got the DVD shortly before I moved to college. And I remember I watched it a lot in college. You know, you maybe partake in some things.
Sure. Absolutely.
Then, with your friends, you show them Spring Breakers.
You bond.
Yeah, people. And they, like, we used to do it a lot in college where you get all the boys together, you know? Like, we had a house where there was, let's see, it was me and then 4 other dudes. And we had an open door policy. Anyone can come and go. There was at least 15 people in my house at all times, okay? At least. And then right across, we lived in like a townhouse complex. Right across the parking lot was the house with our other buddies who were all in bands or in filmmaking and all the artists, whatever. They would have all their friends. They would come over. We used to watch, like, every Wednesday when it aired, everyone would come over. We'd watch South Park together, you know, like stuff like that. And then every once in a while, if we were all done homework, we were all hanging out. You know, it's like, hey, let's throw on a flick. Let's rip a flick. What are we watching tonight? And so Spring Breakers became one because like Charlie, the one I was telling you about, lived across the street, right across the parking lot. So he would come over and I'd be like, yo, we got to watch Spring Breakers. And we would do it, and it was a very good time. And then I started watching it just a bunch on my own.
On your own.
Yeah.
I had a similar, like, it's definitely one of those ones, if you, like, it happens with most people that get obsessed with film in some way, that you have a film that you love showing people.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because I had a similar experience, or have had similar experiences where, so I obviously, you know this, but for the listener, I used to work at a summer camp. I did that for, at this particular camp for 10 years. And, our fall camp situation was really cool because it was a much smaller staff, like really small, and we always like hung, for the most part, most years got really tight and would like hang out. Everyone would hang out with each other. Obviously, people knew me as the movie guy, so a lot of times it was, you know, what are you picking for us? We want to do a movie night tonight. So, you know, a lot of times, you know, I'm pretty hyper aware of like what the group would like think is cool or awesome or just want to rewatch or whatever. However, there was times where it was like, okay, you know, maybe half the staff like left for the weekend and there's some like, hey, you know, tonight's going to be a mic pick night.
Yeah.
Well, this is definitely one that came up multiple times. In the same vein of like a Swiss Army Man is something that I would pull out every once in a while.
Love that movie.
Natural Born Killers was one I'd pull out. For sure, Nymphomaniac.
That's crazy, dude.
I mean, it was, hey, do you want to see something? Oh, because it was always like, oh, Mike knows all the crazy movies, right?
Yeah,
so
I mean,
people, so people, they'd be like, well, I've seen this. You got to show it. Like, you don't know anything. Like, what? I got to see something crazy. I'm like, all right. Like if you want to party, I can party.
I had people like that too.
You know
it's
what
like,
I mean?
You don't know any crazy. I'm like, I'll show you shit that'll break your brain.
Right.
Like,
so I'm like, do you want to see a 5-hour-long, you know, sex movie? You know, and we're going to watch, you don't think we're going to watch the director's cut, dude? The unrated director's cut? Of course we are. So, you know, those are the kind, and this movie was just part of that rotation for me. So it's just one of those films where, like, I know, you know, I'm sure we could probably sit here and literally recreate, like, scene by scene, like every movie, or every scene from the movie, and every line. I mean, I mentioned the Britney Spears sequence. I do want to mention, I texted you when I was rewatching this, the scene with James Franco and Selena Gomez that gets her to leave. I love the fact structurally in this movie that the 4 girls, the 2 ones that are sort of on the fence, I guess if you want to say that, end up like they just fall away after certain events, right? And Selena's the first one to go.
4 little chickies went down
to the blue. then got Chicky got shot in the arm. Just like one note on the piano.
So I had to do it when you were like,
so,
well, all four of them were there.
So Selena's obviously she comes from the religious side of things, and you see that
you jacked up on
Jesus.
Yeah.
And she's like, you get the iconic voiceover with her talking to her grandma, which is one of those refrains that keeps coming.
To come back here with you next year.
Can't wait to come back with you next year. It's like it's just so over the top, and then it's like the visuals that are happening are just like
it's like
people doing like cocaine and like just doing crazy shit. Anyways, and so one of the moments after they get out of jail that sort of makes her leave is this, like, she's already super uncomfortable, and is like, this was like going to jail for like a day or whatever was like too much for her. And then there's this moment there in this scene with James Franco where he's like nothing's wrong, everything's great, and oh, by the way, I'm going to take care of you. And then she's like, yeah, but I'm going to leave. And he's like, you're going to leave, but your friends are going to stay. And it's so menacing. You know what I mean? It's so menacing.
I will say something about that scene.
I was why I wanted to bring it up is because I think that scene is very sick. That's my point.
It is very sick. I will also say one of my biggest conversations about discussions of race in this movie, James Franco's character is a large element of it, but that scene in particular, because Selena Gomez's character, for the last 20 minutes of the movie before that, they are hanging out with strangers. They're doing cocaine.
Going to parties.
Doing crazy shit. You know, like a bunch of, like, all her friends are criminals who robbed a place at gunpoint. I mean, fake guns, but like
still committed a crime, very serious crime.
And the only time she becomes uncomfortable is when it's all black people around her. It is. She gets in there and she goes, she keeps saying, I don't know these people. I don't know who she didn't know anybody for the last 20 minutes either.
Right.
She
only knew those three girls. Yeah. And she doesn't really even know those three girls.
No, she doesn't.
Right?
Like
her friends
warn her about
them. Yeah.
It's I always found that aspect of it because like she comes from that they're more north in Florida that they're coming from. And it is the very, like, they're very southern, like, I assume she's Baptist.
Bible Belt.
Yeah, like, they're very, and I think Corinne is, like, that racism is ingrained in it. He's not saying she's directly, like, she's a race, but
she's consciously
she's been
conditioned and taught.
That is now an unsafe environment.
Yes.
You know, and it's something he's not going to say overtly.
No.
But is definitely what's happening in that scene. And on top of that, you have Franco's really good performance in that scene. Like, he has a lot. I mean, he's insane in this movie. Like, I think it's great. I think it's one of his best, if not his best performance. Yeah, I agree.
It's unbelievable.
But like, this is a standout moment in that. Like, cause some of his bits are a little goofy. You know, like even one of my favorite scenes is when they got the guns to his face and he's like, I just sucked both y'all's dicks. You know, like,
I just fell in love.
Fell in love with y'all. You know.
Yeah.
But like that scene, he looks he's goofy, all that stuff, right? But like this
Name's
scene,
alien.
I'm alien. I'm not from this world, y'all. Like I really think that scene is
well, just to kind of piggyback on that. I mean, there's other moments you can point to, which we've talked about, but like in between the two of us. But like the fact that the two girls at the end are two white girls, and that all they do is just murder every black person.
Correct.
That's right. I mean, James Franco's character was like best friends with Gucci Mane's character.
And that's the reason he, like, if you want to take it that route, from a like let's go back to high school English class.
Sure.
The reason his character the reason his character dies is basically like because he is too much like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that is what's happening in that scene. And they don't care at all that he dies.
Nope.
They move on from it immediately.
Immediately. Yeah.
And
which I think is really interesting, because then the movie ends with like they go on the rampage or whatever, they steal the car and they leave, but then it again tracks back and you see them. Yes, they do give him a little kiss there, but then and you see them run off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as much as that guy deserves in their mind. It's like, hey, this guy got us, because he's just a stepping stone to the last two, right? And that would lead me into a whole other discussion on the female side of things.
I want to
really
actually leap from there
yes.
into the note I was excited to tell you yesterday. Remember, I was like, dude, I can't wait to bring this up. So you might remember that they have announced a sequel to Spring Breakers.
Yeah.
Okay. They have been trying to make a sequel for a number of years. The first iteration of the sequel, do you know anything about that?
I kind of stayed away from it because
okay.
I don't want to be.
No, I need you to listen to this, okay? The first iteration of the screenplay was by Irvin Welsh, who wrote Trainspotting.
Trainspotting, yeah.
And he really wanted to do it, and he had a director on board. They were like, Irvin Welsh was like stoked on making this movie. Okay. James Franco is kind of the reason that movie didn't happen. He came out and said they're making this movie without our consent, without the permission of me or Corinne or anyone. They just want to piggyback off our success, do it themselves. Like no one can make any original anymore. He came out, did it, the whole James Franco thing. And then a few years later, they thought about doing it again, and Harmony Korine was going to write and direct it. Okay, and then he went on. He did the Beach Bum, and he kind of like it. It was right around that time, and he decided he's not going to do it. So this new one that is coming out, it is in production. It's called Spring Breakers 2: Salvation Mountain.
Yep.
Do you know who's directing this?
No.
It is this is what I was excited to tell you. It is the director of Freeway.
Okay.
And I was like, I feel like you might just be like,
that's interesting.
I'm not opposed to that that element. I do not believe they are using any of the Irvin Welsh or Harmony Korine script. I'm not sure, because I think right now they haven't announced who's done the script or anything. Not that I've seen.
Yep.
I just think that's potentially exciting.
Yeah.
And I don't know what this movie's going to be. There was a little bit of the concept of the Irvin Welsh one, which was it's based, and I think based on the title of this one, it's a little bit close to it, but it was mainly about it was much more focused on the religious angle.
Yeah.
So a bunch of like religious not like missionaries, but like similar. Yep. They go on like a trip, they get caught up in the spring break world, and it's like, they just go for it, Well, it had a good title, and I can't remember it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard.
It was called Spring Breakers: The Second Coming.
That's funny.
and that was when Harmony Korine joined to write and direct it.
Right. Well, I mean, it's really interesting. It's hard for me to get like I mean, it's just touching.
Yeah, I'm not that stoked, to be honest. I will see it opening.
Of course, yeah. But I'm gonna be very guarded,
Yeah.
And that's what I think. Like when a movie has this big of an impact, it's like jarring when you're like someone's gonna do another thing on that, and it happens obviously all the time now with IP and all of this stuff. But I don't know, man. It's tough to. I think. Okay, we should probably wrap this up here. So I think
sickest scene.
Well, here's what I was going to say is that with the ending, the way that it is, it was something that the first time I saw it, I didn't really fully understand it until I started looking at the movie as a whole. Mm-hmm. And we've pointed to two very sick scenes so far that are in my sick scene thing, which is the him say the look at my shit,
dark tannin
oil, and him sucking on the guns, right? That, and I really do like the ending a lot. Mm-hmm. And this is what I was kind of alluding to, I guess, before we got into the sequel discussion, which is interesting, but is the sort of female dynamic in this and power dynamic in this movie, and how you never feel, especially with Vanessa and Ashley's character, you never feel like they're out of control necessarily, and they're though it's like they're allowing him to kind of go off in that look at my shit scene, but really like
they're baiting him.
They're baiting him.
Yeah, they're like, wow,
and
let me smell your money.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can use him to get to the next thing that we want.
The second they
right?
get guns in their hand, they're in control.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they're still going to enjoy themselves, and whether it's
they're
sexually,
having fun still.
Sexually or with violence or money or whatever, but he's a means to an end, and that's really when the last part of the movie really made sense to me, is when I started looking at the power dynamics and how little they thought of him.
Oh yeah,
and because it was like you kind of feel like it's also James Franco's character, like Alien's story, and then he's so quickly dismissed. But it's never been about his story. It has nothing to do with him. It's actually
he's a vehicle for
he's
them.
a vehicle for that. So those were so obviously number one would be the Britney Spears scene. I love the look at my shit scene. I love the ending. I love the way that he chooses to shoot the robbery.
That's what I was waiting for you to say.
With the Rihanna song and like just the one shot in the car. Unbelievable stuff in that sequence. I mean, to me, every scene, like the opening sequence is sick. The Skrillex montages, but I don't know. What about you? What was there?
All of those. I will throw in an extension of the robbery scene, which is them burning the car and getting ready to go on spring break.
There's some great shots in there.
It's the tone is changing.
Yes.
The rain at night, the car burning.
Yep.
Them like the
Just
music. The
standing there.
music's impending.
Yes.
And they're cheering, and it's like it's got this great feel to it. There's a big one that slipped my mind somehow. I know it's later in the movie.
Yeah.
I feel like we covered more than enough there. Sickest line is, for me, it's just the entire monologue of "Look at my shit."
It's absolutely.
I do like it's not like a great line. I just love the delivery of it. Is when Selena Gomez goes underwater and comes up, "Y'all making fun of me."
Oh, it's so good.
I love that.
Yeah, y'all making fun of me.
Or she has a lot of great line deliveries. I mean, are you not her, but the preacher at the beginning? Are you jacked up on Jesus?
I know that guy.
I know exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's just, if you've ever been in anywhere close to that kind of environment, that guy is just
okay. I actually have the definitive line from this movie.
Yeah.
Spring break. Yeah.
I wanted to. I had noted in my head to end with this because I think it's very sick.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know if you know this or not. Now I did not fact check this.
Best way to go into it.
However, I'm 99% sure this is how it went down. Do you know why Selena Gomez is in this movie?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure we talked about it, but I just wanted to make sure. I'm going to tell our audience, though.
Yes, tell our audience.
So as the story goes, with a lot of the Disney kids that, they're managed by their parents or one of their parents. In Selena's case, it was her mom that did a lot of her management and was pushing her singing career, acting career, and all that kind of stuff. Well, lo and behold, Selena's mom is a massive Harmony Korine fan. And so when there was this rumblings that, Harmony Korine's making a new movie, it needs to star A, B, and C. I don't know how far they were in their casting. From my recollection, they had one, maybe two of the girls already.
Yeah.
And her mom was like, Selena, you're getting in this movie because I want you to be in a Harmony Korine movie. And Selena had obviously she's just she's coming off of all the Disney stuff. She's trying to do her singing career. She doesn't, at the time probably didn't really know who Harmony Korine was or what the movie was going to be or whatever.
She talks about it on the behind the scenes.
Yes.
And it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to deal with coming off of that. Like she was still doing, like, it just ended, was it Wizards of Waverly
Place, yeah.
The story came out that she's doing this crazy Girls Gone Wild spring break bikini movie, and the set was constantly bombarded by paparazzi.
Yep.
And she couldn't do a lot of, and then like there was children around because they wanted to see Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And it was like destroying her. She's like, there's stuff around I don't want kids to see. And she was like really having a hard time dealing with it.
Well,
which I think makes her performance so much better, because like that's kind of what her character is dealing with. And I think
it's really smart. And what's interesting too is like her character, and like she doesn't have to really do anything that overtly bad or sexual or
no, not really.
Or I mean, she's like drinking, I guess, in a few of the scenes.
They're like slapping each other's butts and stuff.
Yeah, but like I mean, it's like comparatively to what the other girls are doing, like there's a full-on like threesome scene with James Franco that she's not involved. Like she has left the
what's her Corinne there.
Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel.
Yeah, I mean she's going crazy.
She's going crazy in this
in,
movie.
in the hotel rooms or in the parties and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not Selena's character. I think it really.
She's cast very well.
She's cast. I think it's just such a smart thing to do on Harmony's part and whoever that team to get someone like Selena who has that persona, but then is, as you said, it's kind of like what the character needs to be to give a really good performance.
Absolutely. I will say on one more line.
Yes,
is when they wake her up. They're like, "Wake up, bitch! We want your money or whatever. Give us your money, bitch."
I love when you text me. You're like, "Never gonna get
this pussy." Yeah, it gets me.
There's so many great lines. It's very funny. It's dark. It is absolutely a 5-star
genius
cinema masterpiece. Unironically, as you can tell by this discussion for 40 minutes,
it's more than 40 minutes.
It's a movie that means a lot to both of us. Yeah. It's very sick. It's a progressive film inside of cinema, and it's pushing cinema in a lot of different ways. Editing, music, all of those things. This movie is so fucking sick, dude. I'm so pumped we got to see it in IMAX. I'm so pumped that we rewatched this movie. And I'm so pumped we were able to talk about this along with Point Break today. So,
yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys, on that note, thanks for listening.
Yeah, dude.
Spring break forever.
Yeah. Spring break forever. We will see you on the next episode in February, where we will tackle some romance and crime. And I can't wait for that discussion. But thank you so much for listening. I've been Mike.
I've been Dalton.
And we'll see you on the next episode.
Vaya con Dios.
Strangers when our love was strong. Why carry on without me? Every time I try to fly, I fall without my wings. I feel so small.